Hey everybody, this is Milo Briscoe with Fruitful Family Ministries. I hope everybody has had a great day today. Hey look, I thought I was going to be able to get away from what I talked about in my previous post as it pertains to inadequacy, but God had dropped in my spirit that He wanted me to stay there, so I'm going to stay right where He told me to stay, especially as He's ministering it to me. So when I thought about that, I came from a perspective of how I saw myself. And that took me to Numbers chapter 13. A lot of us are familiar with that story. It's when God had instructed Moses to pick 12 leaders of the various tribes and send them out to spy the land that He had already given them. So Moses did what God instructed him to do. He sent the 12. Now it's amazing how everybody can see, sometimes a group of us can see the same thing and perceive it differently. And I believe sometimes we see it from our perspective and we see how we see ourselves. For example, let's go here real quick. When the 10 came back with their report, one of the things they talked about was, the land was flowing with milk and honey. They had the large cluster of grapes and everything, but they had a but to it. And then what they said was, there were giants in the land. The Amalekites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Canaanites. And I'm going to stop right there for a second. What are the ites in your life that hinder you from seeing yourself the way God sees you? Is it that I'm not smart enough ites? I don't have enough charisma ites? I'm not qualified ites? My childhood was rough ites? Any of those ites, those are the kind of ites, those are the kind of things that can hinder us and cause us to see ourselves differently than when God sees us. So when they came back with that report, Caleb, that had a different mindset, and the word says he had a different spirit about him, and I believe that talks about his attitude. Caleb said, we are well able to do this. Hey, look, let's go. We can certainly conquer these people. But the other 10, with a different mindset, came back and said, well, look, they are the giants in the lands, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we're like grasshoppers. And that's what we look like to them also. Now, sometimes we can think so bad of ourselves that we can put our perception of someone else's view on us. They said that the other people saw them as grasshoppers. How did they know that? They knew that they had that mindset because they had a defeated attitude. Caleb had an attitude of victory. And the point I want to make here is we are how we see ourselves. The 10 saw themselves as defeated. Caleb saw himself as a victor. I want to ask this question. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself the way God sees you? Or do you see yourself based on the ites that had been giants in your life for so many years? I would say to you, matter of fact, I challenge you. Start seeing yourself the way Caleb did. Start remembering God's promises. And if you don't remember, remind yourself in His word what God's promises are. You are more than a conqueror. You have the mind of Christ. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. These are the things that this is the way we should see ourselves. The same way God sees us, because we have His character and we're His children. Amen. So I just want to drop that on you real quick. And I hope it blessed somebody the way it blessed me. Have a great evening. God bless you. Talk to you soon.